All right, guys. In the earlier part, we saw how we were able to upload new photos in our photo album application, and in this application, in this episode, we will see how to view those images. So let me upload another image, and if you see, uploads are working fine, right? You see that a new image has been uploaded, but it would be better if we were able to actually see the images. Now, since these images are not in a public directory, and we don't want them to be in a public directory, because we want our requests to be authenticated before viewing the images. So what we'll need is we'll need a controller and an action which allows us to view an image. So let's write that. So I'm gonna open up the photo controller, and we'll add a new action called raw, which will be serving our image, and it it's gonna be similar to our show action, in that it's gonna take an ID, and what we need to do here is get our photo. So photo is repo.get photo with ID as ID. That's going to give us the photo, and once we have that photo, we're going to uh, use a method called send file. Now, send file is a method which takes a connection and and a file, and it sends the file to the browser. So let's take a quick look at the documentation of that send file Phoenix, and so it takes a status code and a path to a file. So let's write that. So 200 is going to be our OK status, right? That's OK status, and the path of the file is photo dot path, right? Our photo model has a path field which stores the full path of the image, so we are going to use that, and that should do it, right? So if we go to photos slash what is this, this is, let's go to the show view, and if I go to photo slash 3 slash raw, it should show us the photo, but we haven't configured a route yet. So let's open up the router and add a route here. So I'm going to say get slash photo slash ID slash raw is going to go to the photo controllers raw action. Now with that done, uh, okay, so it seems like it's giving us uh, data for an image, but it isn't rendering it properly. So let's look at what's wrong. So if we go to the network tab and look at the response, uh, the everything here looks good, and I don't see a content type. Uh, so we need to set the content type properly for it to uh, render as an image. So if you look at this image, it seems, from the first few bytes of text, it looks like it's a PNG. I mean, it is a PNG. So the content type for a PNG is content type for PNG is image PNG. So if we set that up, it should render it properly. So put content type as image PNG, and well, there's no method called put content type. So let's search for content type. So content type, content content type, yeah, put response content type. That's the method. Put response content type is image png, and once we do that, it's rendering it properly. But this is just one type of image. If you upload a GIF or a JPEG, or any other format, it's the image type is not, the content type is not going to be valid. So what we need is, we need to be able to, okay, so we can do one of two things. We can either store the content type in the database and use that, or we can use we can get the MIME type, the content type, based on the extension of the file name. So we are storing the file name, right? So if you open up an IEX console here, we are storing the file name. And so what is this, photo album report.get photo, so all photo album dot photo. So if you see, we are storing a file name, and to get the extension out of the file name, we should be able to do that using path.ext name. So if I say foo.jpg, it says .jpg. So we need to remove the dot if we want to get just the extension without the dot. So I think we should be able to do that using string.replace replace the first dot, right? This is a regular expression which is going to match the first dot, and we need to replace that with an empty string, right? And string replace, that looks good to me. Something wrong here. So string dot replace takes okay, so the syntax is different here. So it takes the string, it takes the regular expression, and then it takes a replacement. Yeah, okay, so I forgot the sigil. What's going on here? Undefined function, yeah, okay. Alright, so I mistyped the pipe. So I always confuse the pipe, Unix pipe, with the Elixir pipe. All right, so that gives us the path without the dot prefix. And Phoenix has this nifty MIME lookup, uh, which allows us to check extensions and types for a given extension. So if you look at type and say JPEG, it says it's an image JPEG. And if I say type for PNG, it says it's an image PNG. So we can use these 4 or 5 things to get what we need, right? So I'm gonna copy that. Gonna copy this, paste it in my editor. So to get the MIME type, we need to, MIME type is what is it? First we need to get the extension, right? So extension, and the file name is photo dot file name, and this will give us the extension. And if we pipe that into MIME type, that's going to give us the actual MIME type. So I'm going to pipe this into MIME type, right? So that should do it, right? And now instead of the hard-coded MIME type, I'll just use whatever we get from the lookup above. So this should work fine, and it should work fine even if we upload a JPEG now, because our MIME type is calculated. It's looked up based on the extension, not and not hard coded. So that's it. I mean, if we want to embed an image, all we have to do is use this URL, and that should show us images. So let's do that. uh, where do we need to do that? So we need to go to the photo index view, and in there, instead of the path, we should have an image tag here. So image, and the source is this, right? So once we do that, if we go to the index view, oops, there's something wrong here. And if you look at the source, image source, yeah, so we can't use this path, right? We need to say photo.id slash photo slash id slash raw. That's gonna give us the images, right? So that's nice. Now if we upload a new photo, choose a file here, make docs, middleman logo, or let's use a different extension. Yeah, okay, not that. Well, yeah, I'm just gonna use yeah, another PNG, but if you see it, it shows up nicely. So that's how we show the files. In the next episode, we'll set up authentication, and we'll make this look nice and clean. So that's it for this episode. Hope this helps you guys. Thanks.